friends, today we're going to be working with Marabu Art Crayons, and what I have here is the blender, and then I have the colors that came out of the basic set, and this is what the package looks like. And I guess it's called primary, not basic, sorry about that. The reason I went ahead and opened them all individually, because once you open it up, then they are also wrapped in plastic. So just show you how I got mine opened. I just kind of slit along the lid there, give it a twist, and then I could grab the plastic wrap. And each crayon came individually wrapped. So that was going to take a little bit of time to get that done. So I just wanted to share with you ahead of time. Well, I wanted to share with you that that's what I did ahead of time. I'm going to remove the white and the black that comes in the primary pack and just work with the three primary colors and the blender. So what we're going to be doing today is seeing how they mix and how they blend. And what I'm going to try them on is three different surfaces of white paper. So I have a coated surface here, I have a textured surface, and then a smooth surface. So let's just start by putting some color on the paper. They're really rich and creamy, and they seem to go on in a similar fashion. However, on the textured, I can actually see the texture, and it also appears to be a little bit darker on that surface. So let's just continue this along and see what it looks like here. Make sure I'm getting you in camera here. Alright, so just to begin with, what I'm seeing here is that the darkest iteration of the color is on the textured piece of paper. The lightest seems to be on the coated piece of paper. So now I'm just going to try to blend first with my finger and see how that goes. So you can see here on the texture, it's doing pretty nice. On the coated, where I would expect it to blend a little bit better, it is a little stubborn, I have to say. It does blend, but stubborn, whereas the textured one did well. And then let's see this one here. If I can remember which finger I've used for each color without intermixing them, I would probably have a better chance. So what I'm seeing here with just using my fingers is that the textured paper blended the best and actually gave me the result I kind of expected the colors to do when blending. And I think the reason for that is because, one, it had a thicker amount of color on the paper, and because it's a raised surface or a textured surface, it could move around because the color was sitting on top of the texture. The one that I was surprised the most with is the coated paper, because it was, I could really feel the resistance when I was rubbing it with my finger, and it didn't want to move as much. And I did mess up my fingers, and so the colors are a little bit off, but you know, they do blend, but not to the extent and the complete mixture that I expected them to have. And then finally, on the smooth surface, you can see that they blend. It's almost like it has a little oil residue on it, and the original drawing is definitely more prominent. So let's just quickly put the three colors down again and see how the blender works with the three colors. I like the feeling of these, the consistency. I also like, although I have to say when I'm grabbing them, I'm not paying much attention, but it does have a grip. Can you see the grip on either side? It does have the grip for your fingers, which is really nice, although I don't know that it automatically defaults to that position when I'm holding it. So there we go. Now this is called a blender, and I thought originally when I opened it up it was going to be like a hard kind of brush tool, but it's actually kind of I don't know what the consistency this is, but it's like the waxy consistency. So let's see how these blend using the blender, and I'm just gonna go off to the side. Okay, so that's the first example. I don't know if I can, yeah, wipe this off is better. Okay. Okay, much different result on the shiny or the coated. And the last one is the smooth surface. All right, so the blender, actually, this is the coated paper. The blender actually changed the color to what I expected when you mix the two colors together. However, it did kind of wash them out. It looks like a translucent or a clear blender, but it actually looks like it lightened the property of the color up. So I'm not sure how I feel about that. Here's the textured one. And you can see that the color here is somewhat similar, although once again, definitely washed out by adding the blender material, I guess, to it. And then here is the smooth paper one, and it once again is lighter, but the color mix is there. So gonna try this one more time, actually two more times. Let's try this. Let's make a true color wheel where the colors overlap each other. I will say that when the color transfers onto the crayon, wiping that transferred color off onto a dry baby wipe works really well. All right, so here is our color wheel. The mix between the red and the blue does make a darker, somewhat purple, and the yellow and the blue does make somewhat of a green. However, the blue did dirty into the yellow, so just to give it a true test here, let's try the blue on top of the yellow, so that way it's not dirtying the yellow. And there we do get somewhat of a green. All right, and then here is the coated paper, and the mixture did make somewhat of a purple color, but the blue kind of just overtook and erased the red. Once again, I'm going to do the same thing here. Just get this prepped to work where the blue doesn't dirty the yellow. Okay. And so here, once again, on the cardstock, I'm surprised that this was the last color I put down, and it actually went right over everything. Kind of removed the color that was underneath it. And you can see that here where I put the blue over the yellow, and it did start to turn green, but then it transferred some of the green into the blue on the cards, on the coated cardstock. I still have to say that the results on the coated cardstock, which is what I expected to do the best, actually is the least of my likes here. And this is like a UPO type paper, so it's a coated, tell you exactly what it is. It's called a chrome coat. So it is similar to UPO. And then here on the smooth cardstock, it did dirty up the yellow. We did get a definite purple with the blue and the red. And then when I just put the yellow down first and the blue on top, it did mix and make a green. So hopefully you can see that as well. So the last thing I'm going to do here is just see what happens when we mix with water. And I'm just trying to make sure I have everything in camera here for you. So I'm going to do these without touching each other. But then introducing some water, and I'm looking, I didn't prepare for this. I didn't bring out my, there it is. I was looking for my water brush. There we go, because it already has water in it, and it's ready to go. So let's just make sure I got some water coming out. Okay, so starting here with the coated cardstock, I'm going to mix like water paint together. And I am getting a green, although it's lighter. I am definitely making an orange here. And I'm making a purple. Similar to this one over here, which was the blender, I think. So I need to label all these so we can see what they were. Okay, so now I'm on the smooth cardstock, blending these together. I'm getting somewhat of a green, but the blue is definitely taking over. Getting somewhat of a yellow or orange, trying to introduce more yellow than red, but I'm getting a dirty orange, which is similar to these others. And then the last is the blue and the red together. And there it's making a darkish purple. And then the last one we have here is the textured paper. I'll take yellow and red. We get orange. Let's try yellow and blue. And we get green. And I'll try the red, the blue. And we definitely get purple. I am surprised that the results I like the best are on the textured paper. Let me know what you think, and if and how you feel about it working out. This is sat for just a little teeny bit, not too long here. Let me see if I can add more water and blend these colors out. So definitely on the smooth surface, you can continue to work with it after it's sat. And my brush is a little dirty here, but it looks like I can continue to pick up color from the original and blend it out. and that does seem to work on all of them, and the best on the textured paper. I'm somewhat surprised, but thankful to have the results now, to know what it's going to do on each of my surfaces. And so for the brilliance, I'd have to say the textured paper. For smooth is not bad. And then the glossy, I just don't know that I would use it on the glossy. So yeah, there's my experiment. Hope this was helpful to you. And just wanted to thank Marabu for providing me with the art crayon set to do this demonstration. Thanks again.